I like well.
Championship Saturday, FCS playoffs, the season finale of college football final. Sad here for the entire show. EJ Manuel, Joey Galloway, Matt Berry, what a journey we've been on with you throughout the season. And speaking of journeys on Championship Saturday, what a journey we've been on in the ACC all season long. And it's fitting that this championship is our lead story in our final college football final because 7-5 Duke taking on Virginia in a league that was staring at its champion not getting the auto bid if Duke pulls off the upset from earlier in the season, and early on they go up 7-0.
Duke got off to a great start. They didn't do this a couple weeks ago when they played Virginia. This one, they looked like a better team early.
Chandler Morris ties it. Jamari Taylor out of the backfield.
All first team ACC. Jamari Taylor does a great job, not just catching it, stopping at a dime, making a guy miss, running in for a touchdown.
So you wonder if Duke wanted to get the momentum right back because they go for it on a punt. They fake the punt and get it.
I love this play call. You're Duke. You're 7-5. You got nothing to lose. Let it all hang out.
Yeah, no one thinks you belong. You do. Mensa, Shamir Higgins, Duke into the red zone.
What a catch and throw right there. Samir Higgins hot points this thing, brings it in, and keeps the feet in too.
And then Nate Shepard keeps his feet moving.
Amazing.
Duke grabs the lead.
21 carries, 97 yards for Shepard, and big touchdown right here as he runs through some tacklers on the back end for Virginia.
I mean, this thing was Blue Devils early and often 14-7. Here in the third, midway through, Mensa deep, Cooper Barcade. That was a good throw.
Another beautiful throw, but really, if you watch this offensive line for Duke, they gave Darian Minson time in the pocket all night.
But, gentlemen, the story was they weren't able to score touchdowns. They were only getting field goals, which kept Virginia in. However,
interesting 4th and 5, go for it. Here's your play call. Throw it into double coverage, Duke ball.
Again, and they weren't able to do much with it. After this turnover here, intercepted by Caleb Weaver. Gentlemen, midway through the fourth quarter, you get the ball here, you punch it in, this thing's over.
Yeah, there had to be some type of miscommunication right here. Receiver runs the wrong route or something.
You always got to be the receiver running the wrong route.
But Duke adds another field goal.
Because Duke decided to do this.
Oh, God.
They were running the ball so well, and then they started throwing some passes. This is a big conversion.
Big conversion on 3rd and 4 again. They could never finish drives, ultimately forced the punt. Harrison Whaley, under a minute to go. First down, Virginia. Tick, 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 tick. 4th and 4, has to convert. Morris to Cam Ross over the middle. Here we go. Wahoo's still alive. Next play, 1st and 10. Morris to Eli Wood.
Wow.
Ties the game at 20.
What a 3 catches on that drive. And this one goes out of bounds, but got forced out, gets 2 feet back in, ties the game.
Unbelievable comeback because Duke couldn't put him away. Let's go to overtime. Mensa scrambling, 4th and goal. Hasley for the touchdown.
What a find by Darian Mensa, keeping the play alive, looking back, finds Hasley.
And then first play for Virginia in their possession. Ball game. Duke snaps a 10-game losing streak against AP-ranked opponents. More importantly, they are your ACC champion. 27-20, the final in Charlotte. What a season. What a story. Duke wins it all.
So proud of this team. Their mental toughness, their resiliency. Wow. I mean, these guys, they never give up. The things they've been through this year, and now they are ACC champions. They deserve to be here. They're worthy of being here, and now they're champions. That's a playoff team. Darian Mensa might be the best damn quarterback in the country. These guys deserve to be in.
Hopefully a great one. You know, Virginia's a great team, and getting this ranked win is a huge one for our case to make the playoff. And so, just now we leave it up to them boys in the committee, and hope that we get in.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
So Duke becomes the second team to win a Power Conference championship game with 5 or more losses, joining 2012 Wisconsin, who defeated Nebraska 70-31. Blue Devils will now await their fate Sunday. The selection committee reveals its 12-team playoff. Here's a fun game. We've been waiting to see this one. 1 versus 2. Ohio State, Indiana. A clash of the Big Ten's best. What a story Indiana's been the last couple of years. They get the national champions early on. Fernando Mendoza. This was a story. We need to watch this going forward. Omar Cooper Jr., star receiver, comes up limping.
Yeah, this is big for Indiana. They were out with Sharpe was out for a while. He was back in this game, and now Cooper is out. Big playmaker gone.
Yeah, so if Cooper's out, then you're going to have to rely on Elijah Surratt more on him in a minute. But early, much like Michigan, Julian Sayin picked off early in this one.
Yeah, and this is a huge interception because, one, it flips the field right there. You basically steal a possession, give that football right back to your offense.
They get a field goal, 3-0 later in the first. You mentioned him. Ball is tipped. It was intended for Surratt, picked off by Ohio State.
And this has been the Ohio State defense calling card, making big plays, putting their offense in position to score.
That was Davison and Venison who came up with the interception. How about the pocket awareness by Sayin finding Carnell Tate?
Yeah, this is really nice. When you get down inside that red zone, once you start breaking outside the pocket as a quarterback, that hurts the defense every time.
7-3, and then Sayin to Jeremiah Smith. Looked as if this was going to go for 6.
Man-to-man coverage, throw it out there to Smith. 8 catches, 144 yards. They did make the stop, though. They made the tackle. Not many teams do that.
They also made the touchdown, Scott. Forced Ohio State to a field goal to make it only 10-6. Another story in this game, field goals aplenty. Mendoza, Charlie Becker, Nashville.
Charlie Becker has been stepping up like crazy toward the back half of the season. When Surratt was out, now Cooper out, Becker comes up big again.
51-yard completion. How about this from Surratt?
Ooh, back shoulder throw. Couldn't have thrown it any better. Big catch by Surratt. Had 3 catches in the game.
First time Ohio State trailed after halftime this year. Sayin, Smith, what a grab.
Good ball right there on the back shoulder. Excellent grab, but even better throw.
Guys, this is the turning point. They elect not to kick the field goal. It looked as if Julian Sayin got the first down.
They called the first down. Go back and take a look at it. His knee hits the ground. They overturned the call. Indiana ball.
That was huge. Now, the defense forced a punt. This is a defensive battle. Sayin on 3rd and 1 tries to get it into the end zone at Bennett Christian. It's incomplete. So now the field goal to tie it for Jaden Fielding.
Okay. Oh, boy. Come on, Fielding.
So Indiana in control. 3rd and 6.
Amazing play right here.
How big was Becker?
6 catches, 126 yards. This one, the biggest one. Giving them the first down. Ohio State has 1 timeout left. That was the backbreaker.
Yeah, that sealed the deal for the Hoosiers. And one final shot here for Sayin and the Buckeyes, but it was not to be.
Now, this is pretty impressive because Jeremiah Smith actually does still catch this football amongst 4 grown men, but nonetheless, not enough. End of the game. Huge win for Indiana. Congratulations.
So many statistics and superlatives in this one, but the one that means the most first, Indiana, your Big Ten champions.
It sounds so beautiful. I want to give all the glory to God. We were never supposed to be in this position, but by the glory of God, the great coaches, great teammates, everyone we have around us, we were able to pull this off. Whoever thought the Hoosiers would be here, but now the Hoosiers are flipping champs. Let's go. We are Big Ten champions. And you talk about changing the way people think. I got 3.5 weeks to get this team humble and hungry for the playoffs.
You know, this is a tough lesson to learn, but, you know, we have to be more efficient across the board. It can't just be, you know, us doing our job once or twice, you know, or 3 times. I mean, it's going to be every single time. And that didn't happen. And that starts with the coaching and then goes from there.
What a season for Indiana. Hoosiers have captured their first Big Ten title in over 55 years while winning a program record 13 games. They also defeated the AP #1 team for the first time in school history, which means they will be ranked #1 on Sunday. What a season for Indiana. We'll get into the Big Ten championship in just a moment, but the chaos we were all waiting for actually happened in the ACC. When Duke gets their revenge over Virginia, they win the conference title, they finish the season 8-5, and now, gentlemen, the committee's got to look at this, and there's a real likelihood, EJ, that the ACC conference champion will not be in the college football playoff.
I think it's a reality. I think, in fact, Duke having 5 losses, guys, there's no chance they're able to jump some of these teams that are in front of them to then get into the playoff, even as a conference champion. Now, that puts JMU into the situation, but does it also put an at-large Miami back into this thing, not just because of the Duke win, but because of the Alabama loss and really the blowout win that Georgia got over Alabama. Now, Alabama being a 3-loss team, and what 100 Yurachek say, last week when he talked to Reese Davis, they're going to re-rank the top 25 when they get into it here this coming Tuesday. Where you looking to say, all right, well, since Miami didn't play, we can't really knock them down, but Alabama did play. So it depends on how they want to look at the situation. They had a bad game today. The best body of work is probably ahead of them, but ultimately didn't play well enough today. Maybe that takes them out.
And Joey, think about that. You've been steadfast that Miami's not going to get in. And if that continues, the ACC, a Power 4 league now, is not going to have a team in the college football playoff.
Yeah, JMU being ranked 25 on Tuesday, that's the first time they've been ranked all season long, really meant if they win and Duke also wins, knocking out Virginia, then I can't imagine JMU not being in at this point. I don't see how Miami gets there just because on Tuesday, Miami was in back of Alabama, Miami was in back of Notre Dame with BYU wedged in there. I don't see how Miami not playing, they would move. I just don't see how that happens. I think Alabama gets in. I think Notre Dame gets in.
Yeah, because Alabama would have to drop from 9 to 13.
But they have to, right? They did lose today.
They don't have to.
Okay.
I never think that a team that is playing in a championship game should be punished for losing, especially when the team didn't play.
And we'll get to that later with you guys' brackets to see who you have in the 12-team playoff. I want to talk the Big Ten now because Indiana was prime. We were talking about before the game. I said, Indiana's got what it takes to win this game. They were the better team on Saturday. Ohio State had some miscues. How do you view now the pecking order going in? Indiana's a national championship contender.
I think they were coming into this game. We'd seen Indiana challenge. We'd seen them go on the road and beat Oregon. The question was, who did Ohio State play? So we hadn't really seen them challenge. And they mentioned it earlier, like they hadn't been behind the team in the second half all season long, and their defense continually made plays. And I think that's what was so impressive about what Indiana did. Because they came in, they got the ball back after the missed field goal, and they got a long field to go to try to put this away. There's 2 minutes and some change. The 3rd and 6th throw to Becker down the sideline to basically put the game away, absolutely amazing. We've seen Mendoza make plays at the end of games. He did it against Penn State. He did it against Ohio State. They are a team they're going to be ranked number 1, but they absolutely have a chance to win the championship.
Are they the team to beat?
Right now they are. And I think the most impressive part to me was not just the win, but also the wins individually. So many one-on-one matchups that Indiana players won. Elijah Surratt, Charlie Becker, all these different guys going up for big catches. And then even on the defensive side of the football, coming up with interceptions like that, they complete. I mean, granted, they didn't win by a large margin, but Indiana looked like the #1 team in the country today.
And we've seen Ohio State in this position last season.
Oh, yeah.
Losing their last game of the season before the playoff. We'll see if they can rebound.
Right. This seems to light their fire a little bit. Nothing was lost for Ohio State. They're going to be a top 4 seed. They're going to be there with Texas Tech. They're going to be there with Georgia. They're going to be there with Indiana. They get some rest. We'll see what happens. It's going to be so much fun. We told you that Alabama lost. We discussed that briefly. We'll show you how they lost. And it was a way that you couldn't really afford to have it happen. In the SEC championship against a stifling Georgia defense. We'll have that coming up. Plus, Red Raiders. They get the rematch with BYU. Was it same as it ever was? And are they on their way to a top 4 seed? Dominance in the defense. We are going to crown a Dollar of the Year tonight. These are nominees throughout the show. Our first nominee is the North Texas Drunk Fan.
I like this guy. I mean, he's had a long day, and he is trying his best to hang in there.
Like, is this a perseverance
award? Let me put this cup down, get the cup out the way.
I'm just wondering what he was drinking to make you.
With you to say that the SEC championship game in an Alabama-Georgia meet has been one-sided. It hasn't. And it has, is what I meant to say.
That's $1.
Alabama 4-0 against Georgia in the SEC. Early on, special teams, Cole Spear able to get a hand on the ball blocking the punt.
This was big early. Just the struggles on the offensive side for Alabama, and it began with this blocked punt, putting Georgia in scoring position.
These teams kind of feeling each other out at that point. Special teams kind of broke the seal. And then Gunnar Stockton, good boot, finds Roderick Robinson the second for the touchdown.
Yeah, I love the play call right here because you get Gunnar Stockton out on the flat right there where he can run it in or toss to Robinson for easy walk-in.
Kirby Smart came into this game 1-7 in his career against Alabama. You know personally he wants this one. Ty Simpson struggled. Dalen Everett with the interception returns into Alabama territory.
Ty Simpson just